for Reed. And so I'm an ambassador for the Meld project. But in addition to that, we've got Matt Plutus Plumbus here. We've also got Charlie Robertstad behind you there. And he's an actual member of the Meld. Now, when it comes to what Meld is, for you guys out there, Meld is going to be a decentralized lending and borrowing protocol. And so Meld is aiming to basically, I don't want to say infiltrate, but they're looking to take over the traditional banking system, right? And so they're looking to simplify the process of not only lending money and receiving interest for that, but they're also simplifying the process of borrowing money. So in the traditional world, or in the traditional banking world, in order to borrow money, for example, to get a car, you have to go through a formal loan process, right? Where you have to apply for a loan, you have to give them your background information, you also have to provide, your credit score, all of that, right? For them to verify who you are. Meld is looking to take that out of the equation, right? And so what Meld is doing lending and borrowing in a decentralized manner. And so Meld is going to be offering two core services. The first is going to be crypto to crypto. So you can take whatever crypto you've already invested in, and if you're long on that crypto, you believe it's going to grow, you can borrow against that, right? So you don't have to exit your position, but on top of that, you can borrow against that, take whatever crypto you receive as the loan or collateral, go spend that, you can come back, pay that, and then retrieve the original crypto that you invested. So you still get the benefits of the position that you're originally in, while also getting the benefit of spending crypto or fiat, which is going to be the second thing that Meld is focusing on, right? So they're doing, crypto to crypto. That's what we just talked about, but crypto to fiat. So let's say I really believe in Cardano ADA, which I do. I can put up my Cardano ADA into the Meld protocol. I can then receive actual fiat or cash, right, that Meld will deposit in a bank account for me. I can then take that cash, go buy pizza, go pay my rent, go do whatever I have to do in the real world, and then whenever I'm ready, I can come back, pay my loan, and then I can receive my original collateral. And if that's gone up in price, which Cardano or whatever project you believe in normally would, you would still be able to get those gains while also having had the ability to actually cash out and used whatever fiat that you borrowed to complete your everyday purchases.
Okay, so if I'm hearing it correctly, though there's no credit card or debit card in the Cardano world, so one of the issues is how do we spend ADA if we want to? So you're solving, it seems like you're solving that issue.
Yes.
By I can then deposit ADA with you. You will convert it to fiat and deposit it to my bank of choice so I can spend it. Now, can that be done instantaneously?
Yes. So Meld will be able to do this instantaneously. Now, obviously, there may be, a few hours wait for the banks to actually go through and wire things, right? Because that's out of Meld's hands, how the banks function. But I do also want to state that Meld is going to be creating their own neobank. So if you're not familiar with what a neobank is, it's basically a electronic bank, right? So it's not going to be a brick and mortar where you can physically walk into it, but they're going to offer the same exact services that a regular traditional bank would, right? So in order to interact with the crypto to fiat, right, you're going to have to basically go through the Meld neobank. It's going to be a simple process. You undergo KYC. Obviously, we can't just send cash or fiat to anybody, right? But for crypto to crypto, there is no KYC. As long as you have an over-collateralized loan, that's enough for us to basically process that, right? So going back to the neobank, you'll create a simple account with the neobank, you'll get approved, and then once you're ready, like you said, you can deposit your Cardano ADA. We'll then transfer your fiat to your Meld neobank. From there, you can spend that fiat using the Meld debit card, which will be coming, or you can take that cash and then transfer that to your traditional bank and then spend it however you wish.
Fees.
Yes.
Fees are always big. I hate ATM fees.
Yes.
I belong to a federal credit union because they pay back all my ATM machine fees. What's going to be the fee that Meld gives us a haircut with, or whatever you want to term it? What's your fee structure?
So, just like any other protocol, it would be great to run it with no fees, but the people who are providing liquidity need a way to also earn and benefit from the protocol, right? So as a lender, the way that you earn money is by the other people who are borrowing on the protocol, they're going to be paying interest on their loans, right? So you're going to be able to get some of that revenue from the people who are borrowing. Now, in terms of the fees themselves, there will be some fees on the banking side of things. However, this actually ties back to the NFTs, which is actually why we're here. So if you guys are not familiar, Meld is going to be launching what they call the Bank Manager NFT collection. As a holder of a Bank Manager NFT, you're going to get a reduced amount when it comes to loan that you borrow against. But then if you're providing liquidity, you're also going to earn an additional bit of APY or interest. Now, on top of the Bank Manager NFTs, Meld also has what they call the Diamond Hand NFT. Now, the Diamond Hand is going to have utility for the crypto to fiat side, specifically when it comes to the banking fee. So if you hold a Diamond Hand NFT, this is huge. You're going to get access to feeless banking. Now, there's only 4,000 Diamond Hand NFTs that were ever minted. There's not going to be any more minted. They're currently trading on jpeg.store right now, I believe, with the floor price of about 900 ADA. But to me personally, I think they're worth so much more than that, right? Imagine big institutions coming into Meld, looking to make transactions, right? Feeless banking is going to be huge in terms of the amount of transactions that they're going to be able to generate. And so I personally own a Diamond Hand NFT, but having that NFT is going to give me access to feeless banking on the crypto to fiat side once that's available. So the Diamond Hands were minted on January 31st, or about that week. And so they've been on the marketplace for about 8 or 9 months now.
Okay, and what were they released at? What was the floor price?
They were given out for free. They first started out at about 800 or 900 ADA. Now, this was before the utility was announced. The price dropped down to about 200 to 300 ADA. And since then, the team released the official announcement about the feeless banking. And on top of that, if you hold the Diamond Hand NFT, you're also going to get early access to some of the features coming to Meld, right? So you'll be able to test out the crypto to fiat early before other members are able to test it out. And then Meld also reserves the right to add additional utility for the Diamond Hands, right? So because those were so rare and they were so hard to earn, they were basically for the OG community. Whenever there's new utility that's basically mentioned, a lot of that is considered for the Diamond Hands. And so kind of tying this back, they were trading at a floor price of about 200 to 300 ADA. And since the announcement, we've seen an increase in activity when it comes to purchases. And right now, they've been trading for the last 2 to 3 months solid at about 900 ADA. Again, in my eyes, it's still undervalued, but I always recommend that people do their own research, look at the supply.
And NFA, always
yes, this is not financial advice.
There.
Exactly. One of the things that I really appreciate about this particular NFT is I'm a numbers guy. So I look at the numbers when it comes to how much supply there is. And when you look at a lot of the top NFTs in the ecosystem, you're going to notice that about 15 to 20% of the total supply are people that own more than one NFT for that collection. When it comes to Meld, 98% of the NFTs that are out on the market is only one owner. So there is less than, I can count on my hand how many wallets own more than one Diamond Hand NFT. So what does this mean for you guys out there, right? This means that people are not going to be able to dump 100 of these NFTs on the market. There's no whales holding a big bag of the supply. This means that these NFTs are decentralized in nature. The majority of the people that own these NFTs only own one. So it's low risk when it comes to price fluctuation. But then on top of that, only 1% of these NFTs, again, there's only 4,000 of these, only 1% right now. I think there's about 65 on the market for sale. So people...
Well, I better go buy one before I release this thing. Okay.
Yes, you definitely should. It doesn't take much price action or much sales for the floor price to move because there's not many people selling. It's not like there's 30% of the supply in the market. People that own this know what's coming up and they're holding on to these NFTs.
So we have some alpha here, I think.
Yes.
We have some very loose alpha.
Yes.
Again, folks, this is not financial advice, but this is a great interview learning about some of the things may come in. And will the NFT get driven up in price? I can't answer that. But I will say this, and this is not an endorsement because the SEC is after beautiful people like me that endorse things. I'm going to buy one or two. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mel,
Thank you.
what else? So this newest thing, I lost this gold, which is coming out. There's the QR code. Does no good if my thumb's over it.
Now,
So,
what this is going to give you access to, there's the general bank managers. Those will give you access, as I mentioned earlier, to decrease when it comes to loans, and then an increase when it comes to APY, depending on whether you're lending or borrowing.
right.
There's only going to be 10 of these. Now, the other bank managers, there's going to be 42,000. So these are going to be much more rare.
42,000?
Yes, of the regular bank managers.
42000.
Yes.
Has anybody done a mint that size?
No, that's going to be one of the first ones. And Meld is high quality. So you look at one of these, this is why it's taking Meld a very long time to roll these out, because they're so pixel dense and they're high quality artwork. If you know anything about Ken, who's the CEO of Meld, he's a designer by nature. And so this is secondhand for him, you know. He wants to make sure everything is high quality. But to tie it back into the golden bank managers, there's only going to be 10 of these, and they're going to give you a full 1% when it comes to loan rate reduction and an additional yield boost of 1%. So again, if you're a large corporation, 1% is going to be a lot. To somebody who might only be investing a few ADA, it might not be that big. But for bigger players in the game, 1% is quite a bit. And so in order to be able to be eligible to win one of these, you can scan this QR code here. And once you scan, that's going to take you to a Google Doc. And all we're asking is for the community to provide some information as to what utility can actually be implemented for these NFTs. And so we're going to look at all the different suggestions that come in from the community, and we're going to pick. And whoever has one of the best suggestions will actually get their suggestion implemented. But on top of that, as a reward, they'll earn one of the 10 golden bank managers.
That's some alpha and an opportunity. You said there's only 10 of these? Or
Yes.
Only 10?
There's 10 golden ones, which give you the 1% reduction and the 1% boost. And then there's going to be 42,000 of the general ones, which those will give you the same benefits but less percent. So it's still the same utility, but just not as great of a boost. Exactly.
Gotcha. So, okay, great. That is phenomenal. The bank. What is the time frame on your
On the neobank. So right now there is a lot of licensing stuff going on. Meld is actively working on the neobank. I would say Charlie Roberts, the gentleman who we showed earlier, is probably the best to go to for that. But it is in the works. They're working on an EMI license, or an electronic money. I forget exactly what it stands for, but it's basically a license to provide them the ability to interact or to act as a bank. And so it is in the works, but there is no hard dates that have been set just yet.
Okay, any last words? My battery's going low.
Man, no. Thank you for coming by.
Awesome.
Thank you for stopping by. I hope that I was able to help you guys. Check out Meld on their Discord. A super solid project. I love them. They're one of my favorite projects, and we're here to answer your questions. Thank you again for the opportunity.